I don't look at men for their money anymore. Like, once I got out of celibacy, it's like, all right, let's look at the men, not for their money. Because if I look at you for the money, that's all it's going to be about. And if that's what you're throwing at me, that's all it's going to be about.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video. We got something pretty good, man. We got this former P star jumping on in one of these interviews saying how she's a reformed 304. Now you're starting to see some of this where I guess this is before my time. This is when I was still watching Cartoon Network. I guess you had Superhead, and then you fast forward, you end up having Brittany Renner. She decided to become Muslim now. So, hey, and she's actually living up to it to some degree. This is only what we are seeing online, right? But supposedly she is saying, hey, she doesn't look at men for money anymore. Surprisingly, she doesn't look at men for money anymore. So she is taking the Brittany Renner's approach. Now, Lisa Ann, Leanna Paul, or Leanna Taylor, whatever her name is, she was upset because, hey, well, men or you have other little boys bullying my son. You can't have little boys bullying other little boys. You should be respecting other children. It doesn't matter what I did in my past. Your past will always catch up to you.
One, that my child is going to be bullied in school. And two, they're making TikToks about my delivery of my child and like children going on water slides.
I actually haven't seen any of that. I haven't been on TikTok, though.
Well, those are majority of the comments, like on my Instagram, on my TikTok, on my Twitter, just saying stuff like that. And then also just like, I feel bad for the kid because your mom did porn. I have one thing to say to that. I feel bad for you. You clearly had a terrible mom who raised a son that talks like that to women.
Mm-hmm.
And when men always bring up women's past, women always say, it doesn't matter my body count. Well, it doesn't matter what I did. It doesn't matter how I did it.
So I have that clear understanding of how we get labeled in who we've been. What's hard is like the medium of social media. And like today I did a live and it was wild. I would say 400 of the 500 people in there were just making aggressive sexual comments to me, telling me to take my top off, just, all the weirdness of and the things that people are willing to say. And I think my existence would be different 30 years ago without social media because I wouldn't be constantly reminded how some people see me. I would only be reminded of my in-person experiences with the people that know me and that see me as I truly am, like the layers to me. So I do my best to just be like, okay, I get it. Like I will say to everyone on Instagram, and I did today, I'm like, just remember that when you're making those creepy comments, all you're doing is reminding us that you have no sex.
Some of my experiences are really humiliating for me, and I wish that they never happened. Sorry.
Oh, don't cry.
And it just gets really extreme, like you were saying, abusive.
Did you ever go through those experiences where you...
Honestly, I feel like I'm in denial sometimes, and I can't accept some of the things that I've done.
Men try to keep women from having that mindset at a young age, but that's where it starts. And then you end up having women jumping on interviews saying stuff like this.
I don't look at men for their money anymore. Like, once I got out of celibacy, it's like, all right, let's look at the men, not for their money. Because if I look at you for the money, that's all it's going to be about. And if that's what you're throwing at me, that's all it's going to be about.
So you've never done stand-up? Because this right here is gold. I'm talking about you could get it. I would die.
I've never done stand-up.
Do you believe in soul ties?
I just feel like
She's smart. We know you're smart.
I'm a Capricorn. I'm a self-healer though. I feel like I can cut something off cold and it's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna affect me. But there is times where I've had sex with somebody, and every time I have sex with them, it's like I feel down or tired or depressed. And then there's times I somebody, I'm like, I can go work out right now. But soul ties, I feel like, it depends on how weak the soul is, man. I feel like I'm a succubus.
A reformed bop. That's all that is. It's just a reformed bop. Now, I'm glad they asked that question because it breaks it up into two parts, so you really get to see her mindset. Now, she says that, hey, well, I don't want to look at men for their money anymore, right? Now, she says if that is what you are coming with, that's all I'm gonna look at you as. So, I mean, are you going to change or are you not going to change? If you're going to say I'm not going to look at men for their money anymore, then you should also cut off the men who do lead with money, who are coming automatically with money. Hey, babe, man, listen, your janky club promoters, your little Pookies, your little Ray Rays. But hey, guess what? She will still invite some of those guys. That's just a fact. She will still invite some of those guys. And she will still use the excuse that, hey, well, I'm not attracted to you guys, but I will still use some of your resources, though. I will still say, hey, well, if you want to entertain me, if you want to buy me this, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to leave with your money, I'm all for it. But that's not something that I look for now. That's not something that I put in the forefront. I'm pretty sure you get somebody like Saint the Sinner, you get somebody, man, who's really going to dig deep, ask these questions, they're going to get to the root of all of that. And they're going to expose that shit because her real intentions are she still wants that money, right? She still wants that money. She just wants to get out of the life of having a mindset that she had. But once again, when you're still saying, okay, I don't mind still dealing with these guys, still opening myself up to these type of guys, you're still going to get that. Even when you're saying, I'm not going to put them in the forefront like I used to, you're still going to entertain those guys and you're still going to find yourself in the same position. And then when you hear the soul ties, now, as far for me, I don't believe in no soul tie stuff. When I used to get done dealing with whoever, knowing their situation, knowing that they just got out of a bad relationship or, they're going through something, I did not care. I did not care. I got mine and I got up out of there. As long as I got mine, as long as it was good, hey man, I was happy. I was skipping down the hallway, especially in college, skipping down the hallway, minding my business. I felt accomplished. But you have these women who claim to be woke, and these are the same women who have a very skewed mindset and a very skewed idea of reality. They say, well, you know what? You have these soul ties, even when this person is feeling down and you this, that, and the third, you're going to feel some type of way. Me personally, this is just me personally, I don't really believe in all that. There was a chick who I went to school with, used to be my best friend. I known her since kindergarten. Grew up, of course, we went our separate ways because she went to a different high school, I went to a different high school, but we ended up going to college. And she was dealing with some guy. Her parents are telling her, why you're dealing with this guy, you need to slow it down. You and this guy are moving a little too fast. Y'all moving a little too fast because y'all both are in college, right? And he is skipping his first block class so he can come pick you up to take you to class so you can get on class on time. So he's about to flunk out of a class that he needs, just to come pick you up so he can make sure you get on class on time because you decided to live off of campus, not live on campus so you can get on class on time. So you can do what you're supposed to do, have that freshman year experience. You decide to live in your own apartment, mess this man up, whatever, right? Fast forward. I'm dealing with her. She done had a child with this guy. They're not even dealing with each other anymore. So I'm over here chilling. We haven't talked in about a year or so. I'm chilling with her. You already know where it's going, right? You already know where it's going. We're going to Pound Town, right? We're going to Pound Town. But before we get into all of that, we're talking, we're chilling, catching up. And she's saying, man, I'm in this apartment, right? I'm over here struggling. It's hard for me to really do everything that I really want to do because I have to have a job. I got to finish school and I have a child. This dude ain't trying to take care of his child. Rent is $900 a month. I'm just like, man, sis was stressing. And I'm trying to make light of the situation because, hey, I want to break the ice. I want to just, you obviously stressed. Let's be funny about it. She turns around and pulls a 360. I'm like, you really think this stuff is funny? I'm like, whoa, hold on. I'm just trying to make light of the situation because obviously, you know, once again, and it was just something so simple. Because I told her, I said, you know, sooner or later you're gonna look at this and you're gonna look back at this, you're gonna laugh at it because, you know, hey man, I got out of this situation, right? This is what I had to go through just to get to where I'm at today. She missed the whole point and felt that it was. So when we went ahead, knocked boots, once again, I went home. I was happy. She had all of that baggage. Like I said, I don't believe in that stuff, but other people do. Once you look at the past, you will see the type of person they really are. I'm just being honest with you. You will see why they think the way that they think. If you ask some of these girls about their past, right, who are now presenting to be some woke woman, some woman who hasn't slept with men in 30 freaking years and yada, yada, yada. Once again, when you look at their past, you're like, ho. I kind of have to question that because you're not the type of girl that I would date because you were so fast, because you did this, because you did that. And my only question is, what do we get out of that? Okay, let's just say if I do feel bad after having sex with this girl and she's going through something and I feel bad, but hey, my life is going good. Okay, I feel bad in the moment, but I'm just going to go back to the crib and I'm going to go tidy myself up and go on. Hell, I'm probably going to forget about that feeling by the time I hop in the car and I drive off and I throw some Gucci Mane on. I'm going to forget about that feeling. So like I said, this stuff is pointless, but y'all let me know down below. What do y'all think? Do me a favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.